Us now, Dr. Michael Scheuer, the former head of the CIA's Bin Laden unit and the author of the great book, Marching Towards Hell, America and Islam After Iraq. Dr. Scheuer, I just want your take on where we are right now with what the Attorney General says he's going to do, ordering this full-fledged investigation, what the President has said in the past about moving forward, not backward, and now this.
I think what they've done is two things. The administration clearly has declared war not only on the CIA, but their entire intelligence community. And it's going to have a freezing effect, an effect where people work to the letter of their instructions and no more. The second thing they've done is probably more damaging, and that is inform Al-Qaeda and its allies not only of all the things that are in our arsenal of to do to them if we get them, but also the fact we're not going to do it anymore. And for better or worse, the CIA has been Al-Qaeda's most damaging enemy since 1996. And what the President has done is what his party has always done, kind of unilateral disarmament. This is reminiscent of the Cold War, when they wanted to get rid of our nuclear weapons, thinking that that would encourage the Soviets to do so.
And isn't it also going right to the heart of this idea that the left has never liked the CIA? I mean, the CIA represents all things that is bad about the United States of America, is it not? I mean, this is a long-running left-wing dispute with the way things are done in Washington.
Sure it is. I've always said that if the country survives my generation, we're going to be in very good shape, because most of the people I grew up with share Mr. Obama and Mr. Holder's attitude of hatred toward the Central Intelligence Agency. And that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing these 60s adolescents kind of work out their hatreds now that they have power.
I love this. You're doing the psychological profile. I think you are a doctor after all. Can't we just make you a medical doctor? Now Holder says that he has no choice but to proceed with this investigation because the ethics office at the Justice Department, came forward with this information. First of all, I don't think that is necessarily the case. Number two, when the President himself reassured the CIA early this year that, targets weren't on their backs, that, keep up the morale, we're in your corner, we're going to move forward, not backward. This has to have been signed off. Would it not have been by the President himself?
If it's not, we have a minor official, cabinet official running the United States government. Of course the President signed off on this. This is just politics. And it's not only on their side of the aisle. Both parties are playing politics on this issue.
Now, Juan Williams, in the previous segment, he and I got into it about whether, in fact, we learned some really valuable things after the waterboarding of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. We should remind people, how many people were waterboarded in this entire process?
Less than half a dozen, I think.
Yeah, so just a handful of people
Yes.
were waterboarded. He was waterboarded many, many times. He provided information, according to the most recent reports in the Washington Post and other places, that was extremely useful. A lot of it was bloviation, but a lot of it went to the ideology, operational structure, and even some agents of Al-Qaeda were named by him over the course of many months.
Yes. Once you get them talking, if you can engage them on Islamic history and their place in it, they often say more than you think they're going to say, or they think they're going to say. So Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and many of them have been not only manipulated in terms of interrogation techniques, but in terms of conversation and debate. And that's what the recent reporting is showing. They're leading us into how Al-Qaeda thinks and how its allies think.
He was an effective resistor before the waterboarding.
Yes.
And again, you can never know if other techniques also would have worked with him. But you can make an educated guess that this was the most hardened of the terrorists we were interrogating. And he wasn't the garden variety, stooge for Al-Qaeda. He was in charge of planning, he was a mastermind, and it was all on the line for him.
And people, Laura, never talk about the fact that Al-Qaeda guys are trained to resist interrogation.
Yeah, their manual that we found, and where
Right.
was it? The British found
They
the
believe
manual.
they can die on the battlefield and go to Allah, or can die in our prisons, and they're very good at trained at resistance.
Now, before we let you go, the interagency task force that has been now tasked by the special committee of the Obama administration to come up with these new interrogation methods. Does this give you much confidence? It's obviously taken away from the CIA, and there are a variety of officials that are going to be involved now.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. What it does is, I ran the program, I founded the program of rendition, and we were the most overseen organization in the government. There was a lot of examination. This is now in the White House. No one examines the White House but the White House.
No one seems to know. It's like, who's on first? I mean, we don't know who's in charge.
It's also a great accretion of power to the President.
Right. So you can argue that the executive branch is getting more powerful, and the intelligence agencies obviously being sapped of their power.
The intelligence committees are not going to come into the White House.
Dr. Scheuer, great to see you as always. And up next.